Tim, thanks for spending some time today. Love to get to talk to you about the maturity model audit. A lot of times when we're talking to new prospects, new clients, or even clients that have been in the Prosci family for some time, we use the maturity model audit to kind of see where they are today and where they want to go in the future. And so what I wanted to do is spend a little bit of time just talking through the maturity model audit, where it came from, how it works. First question is, what is the maturity model audit?
The Prosci maturity model audit, it's like many other maturity models. It describes 5 levels of organizational maturity for change management competency in this perspective. Level 1 is absent or ad hoc, where we have pretty much no change management evident. Level 2, we see isolated projects. Level 3, we start to see change management emerging on multiple projects. Level 4, we start to see organizational standards. And level 5 is that organizational competency, where being great at change is part of who we are, not just something we do. The 5 levels describe those elevating levels of maturity. The power is that a senior leader who may never have even heard of change management understands organizational maturity. And so it becomes a very powerful platform to start to have a conversation with leaders around what does this competency mean and what does it actually mean to grow maturity in delivering expected results and outcomes by catalyzing people through our change efforts.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of the history of the maturity model audit, kind of when it was introduced and also just why. How did we get there?
Fantastic. So the maturity model itself was introduced in 2004. In about 2011, we realized that there was the ability to add a diagnostic tool behind it. And that's where we engaged with our clients, with the research, with others in the field to identify a more robust set of capabilities and then a diagnostic tool that sits behind it so that an organization could go beyond saying, we feel like we're about a level 2 to having real meaningful targeted conversation about what it means to be mature in change management and arrive at a quantified 1.85 with a team going through a true diagnostic.
I also wanted to understand when Prosci engages with organizations, what are some of the ways that we go about kind of conducting the audit and who are those people that should be involved in that?
That tends to be what we would call the deployment leader or the capability architect inside the organization that we would sort of team up with. That person will usually do one themselves, right? Just so that they get a sense of where they are. The real power of the maturity model audit is creating a shared vision with a group of folks that are actually trying to increase maturity in the organization. We work hard to get the right people in the room. It's not just a bunch of change management folks. It's the leaders that will have influence in growing capability in the organization. So it's really creating that network of who in the organization is going to be essential for us to grow this capability. We get them all in the room and we'll actually do a couple of different takes with the maturity model audit. And so the power of the audit in that sort of an engagement, that facilitation is not only getting everybody's fingerprints on where we are today, where we want to get to, but also creating a shared understanding of what organizational maturity actually means.
So Tim, we talked about using the maturity model audit at the very beginning to establish a current state, a baseline of organizational change management maturity, and also aspirationally for a future state. I'm wondering how else we can use it along a client's journey to help them continue to see the path and continue to increase their capability.
That ability to hone in on and prioritize and focus effort on where we are trying to get the lift, I think gives the structure and intent that these journeys really are desperately lacking. Because wishing and hoping is not the way to grow change muscle. But we know it's essential for all of our organizations today. And so the maturity model audit helps us understand where we are today, where we want to get, and how we need to go about moving from here to there.
Absolutely. Thank you. What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet?
What?
Supplies!